It's the Garage Guys Report, motorsports news for you. Welcome to episode 9 of the Garage Guys Report, motorsports news for you. I'm your host, Chase Holden of the Garage Guys NASCAR podcast. You know me everywhere. You know me from the internet. You know me from the world of racing. And you have just stumbled upon the greatest motorsports news show on the internet. And I say that because I've looked up other motorsports news shows, and they suck. This show doesn't. And you're proving it because you're watching it. Thank you. Appreciate you. It's been a crazy day, crazy Sunday, a lot of racing action over the weekend, and we're going to dive into all of it, as well as the real race fans, the voicemails. That's right. The voicemails have easily been one of my favorite parts of this show, and they continue to be great week in and week out. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for making this show all that it can be. It's because of you, the race fans. You keep us going. You keep it going strong. Before we dive into everything on this show this week, got to say shout out to Hooters. Shout out to them, okay? If you know the Garage Guys, you know that Hooters is for race day. Hooters is for racing, okay? And shout out to Chase Elliott for that top 10 finish. That means free fried pickles all Monday long at Hooters every time he gets a top 10. And when he wins, you buy one, get one on wings, okay? It's great promotions. Hooters loves racing. Hooters loves NASCAR. So all you Chase Elliott fans watching this, I hope you went to Hooters today. And guess what? If you didn't, just in case, I'm going to give you a little something for every day. Right now, if you use promo code GarageGuys when you order on the Hooters app or from order.hooters.com, we're going to save you $10 on any $30 or more to-go order. That's right. So the Garage Guys help you save money at one of America's finest dining establishments. Okay? The best wings in town. Promo code Garage Guys. Use it at Hooters. Save money. Live better. Hooters, not Walmart. Just had to take a sip. It's like I always say, everything tastes better out of a Hooters cup. Aside from that, I do have another special announcement to make. A lot of you that watch the programs, listen to the podcast, you all know about our love and appreciation that we have for Worldwide Technology Raceway in St. Louis. I myself, am just a huge fan of everything they're doing at that racetrack. They love us. We love them. And I got a big announcement. August 27th, IndyCar. The Garage Guys are coming back to town. You have an entire month to get ready for that race. And if you've never been to an IndyCar race, now is the perfect time because the Garage Guys will be there. We will be doing events. We'll be at the track. We'll be running social media that weekend, doing a takeover. It's going to be a great time, and it's a perfect time for IndyCar fans and non-IndyCar fans alike to get their ticket and go to this race. You'll get a chance to meet us, hang out, see drivers, and see some amazing oval races. They're calling it the IndyCar Oval World Finals. Okay, that's what we're coining it. So tell your friends, tell your family, the Bommarito 500 is the IndyCar Oval World Finals. You don't want to miss it. You got to be there. And I will have a link for you guys to purchase tickets through the Garage Guys channels. Okay, so if you're a Garage Fam loyal and you're in the St. Louis area or around it, or you want to plan your trip to go, there will be a link soon for you to buy your tickets through us. But for right now, well, I don't have that link. Go ahead and get your tickets. Tell them the Garage Guys sent you. I cannot wait to be back in St. Louis for that race. It's one of the funnest races. And they have these giant explosions that happen. All right? It's great. You saw it on NASCAR. You're going to see it in IndyCar as well. So don't miss the explosions at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Gateway, as they used to call it. IndyCar Overworld Finals. I love that name, and I can't wait to be back. So just wanted to let you guys know that we will be there at the end of the month and give you plenty of time so you can't make excuses. Better see you there. But with those announcements out the way, and I guess it's time to get into some news. To kick off the news segment this week on the report, we're going to do what we did last week and probably continue on doing this every week. It's time to go to the winner's box. Congratulations! You won races. Drivers won. Congrats. Proud of you guys. Proud of you all. Now let's go ahead and dice it up. We're going to start off with NASCAR. Probably one of the most action-packed Pocono races that I have seen in a long time went down on Sunday for the highpoint.com 400. Denny Hamlin got his 50th career victory at a track that he's been very familiar with and known to win at multiple times. Man likes triangles. Let's be honest. He's a big triangle guy, big three-sided guy. Okay, and obviously there are more sides to him after hearing what Kyle Larson had to say after the race.
I've been cost a lot of good finishes by him throughout my career, and I know he says I race a certain way, but I don't think I've ever had to apologize to him about anything. It is what it is. Like, yeah, we're friends. Yes, this makes things awkward, but you know, whatever. You know, he's always right. All the buddies know Denny's always right. So I'm sure he was in the right there as well. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to let it tarnish a friendship on track, but I am pissed. So eventually, like he says, you got to start racing people a certain way to get the respect back. So I'm going to go race a sprint car on Tuesday night. I'm going to forget about it here in a few hours. And that's the best medicine for a tough result. So
for those of you that didn't watch, Kyle and Denny were right there neck and neck towards the end of the race, and it looks like there was some type of contact that happened. Larson kind of got into the wall, and it really just kind of shot him in a bad spot. A lot of people were debating, did Denny do this? Did Denny not do this? Denny saying he didn't, Kyle saying he did. But the one thing you heard from Kyle himself is the man's not going to apologize. We all know that one friend, the know-it-all, the one that's never wrong. We've all had him in our lives before. And if that is how Denny is, well, obviously there's a reason that he's where he's sitting. But, he had to respond, obviously, to what Kyle said. So let's take a listen at that.
Larson had said that he felt like it was kind of the same move that you did to Chastain last year.
Same move he made to Bubba. Did he mention that or no?
No, he did not.
Gotcha.
So, but do you feel like you raced him with respect?
We're racing for the win. Are you me? I mean, if I'm going to give anyone in the field respect, it's Kyle Larson. Just because of our, I respect him as a race car driver, and I think he's, probably the best. So certainly he's got my respect, but damn, I mean, we're all racing for a win, and I guarantee you, roles reverse, it goes the same way.
So after hearing Denny's response, I can agree to the fact of when you are at the last lap of a race, everything's on the line. It's a one-man show out there with every driver in their car. That's the way that I see racing. Whether you think the move was wrong or right, one man made a move, and that move got him pushed forward. And there are people out there that say, well, if that last caution wouldn't have came out, then, it would have been different. Look, man, it came out. Girl, man, whatever, it came. I don't know what to tell you. It was a great race. Hands down, one of the best races that I've watched at that track in a long time, like I said before, and it definitely makes me think twice about going to take a trip up to the Pocono Mountains. Also hear they're very fond of the cannabis growth there as well. Read an article a while back. They were looking to, start growing some hemp out there by the mountains. I like that. Keep that going. But other than the squabble between the two, look, they're friends. They're going to figure this out. They're going to find a way over it. I want to know what you think. Let me know if you think that Denny did this on purpose, that Denny did make contact or he didn't make contact. Hit me up in the comments below, and let me know. But aside from that drama, there was way more drama at Pocono. Tempers were flaring on a Sunday. And for those of you that love NASCAR and love NAS fights like myself, we had us a good one. All right. We had Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick. Dillon throws his helmet at Tyler Reddick's car. You've got, obviously, the Hamlin Larson beef towards the end wasn't really a fight, but vocally, maybe some disputements. But then the one that you probably didn't see, the one that happened after the race, a lot of this came out after, was Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoy. Take a look at Ryan Preece hopping out the whip and going to greet old Corey LaJoy post-race.
That was bull. You know.
All this really got me thinking after seeing a tweet from my good buddy Large at Barstool Sports. We do need to see these dudes throw down. I want to see NASCAR driver boxing matches. Large mentions to do it on Rough and Rowdy. That's one of Barstool's premier boxing events that they do. I remember when Rough and Rowdy first started, and I think it's a great platform to have guys like this on there. I mean, you see some of the wildest stuff on Rough and Rowdy. But to see NASCAR drivers do it would be incredible. And it got me thinking, really, let's break this down. We're going to start it off with the Austin Dillon versus Tyler Reddick beef. When you take a look at Austin Dillon, a couple of things come to mind that could help benefit him in a fight. He could sick bulls on people. He does own a professional bull riding team, so he could probably just wrangle up some cattle, and run them out there on you. He's a cowboy. Austin Dillon's got that cowboy in him. He'd be ready to go. Also, he's got a really great throwing arm. We saw this today at the race. That's a pretty damn good arm. A lot of velocity with the helmet throw there. I'm willing to bet he could throw a pretty nasty jab. Also, he could throw a cowboy hat at your nutsack. So you would probably need to watch out for that. I don't know if you've ever been hit in the nuts with a cowboy hat, but it can feel pretty fucking bad. Those hats they're definitely built different. So don't ask me where I was or why I got hit in the nuts with a cowboy hat, but it did happen a long time ago, and I'm glad it's never happened again. Taking a look over at Tyler Reddick on the benefits of him in a fight, he is a big brain guy. What does that mean for Tyler? It means he'd probably use his brain when it comes to the fight. So the first thing I could think of is he would probably just hire people to fight for him. Most smart people would know you just pay a little bit of money. You could just get a couple of guys with some big arms. They'd take it down for you. I mean, he's kind of stacked up against a cowboy on a ranch. His backup, Austin Dillon's backup would be an entire PBR bull riding team. That's a pretty tough situation. So you got to be careful with that. Also, going back to Tyler Reddick, he was a big Screamo fan growing up as a child, kind of an emo boy, which means that he's probably got one hell of an emo scream. If you've listened to any, Screamo songs in the past, you know that they can blow your eardrums out. So could take a lot of damage to eardrums. Tyler could dish that out. And looking at who Tyler Reddick's backup team would be, I would probably say the characters from McDonald's. That seems like a pretty good arsenal of guys. Could you just imagine PBR guys, the McDonald's cast and characters like Ronald McDonald with nunchucks and Tyler Reddick just kind of sitting back, just like using his brain? That'd be a pretty good scrap. I want to know who you think would win that scrap. And if I missed any attributes or any qualities whatsoever of why Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick wouldn't be a good fight or would be a good fight, let me know in the comments below. The next fight, we got to go to Hamlin and Larson. Taking a look over at Denny Hamlin, I would say this. He would probably be good with words. So if he fought with words, he could probably win. That was also noted by Kyle Larson in his interview, saying he's always right. Usually when you're always right, that means you have strong words. Words could win in a fight. Denny would probably have it. Taking a look at some other qualities of Denny, he would probably have the entire Dirty Mo Media production team behind him as his crew. That could be a pretty stacked cast, especially when you look at guys like Brett Griffin and Freddie Kraft. you know those dudes can punch. So you got to kind of keep a lookout for that one. So I think that that's really the kind of qualities that I would have for Denny. There wasn't many that I could list. Looking over at Kyle Larson, though, Larson seems to be the kind of guy that could probably give you a pretty nasty bruise by swinging a golf club at your head. He does like to play a lot of golf, and I know Denny plays golf too, but I would think Kyle would probably have a way meaner swing and could probably really wreck your face with a 9-iron. Also, he could be the guy that would just report you to law enforcement. If that happens, cops are coming, you're fucked. You're not fighting anything. Kyle wins. He also looks like he has a very strong slap hand. Slap hand looks strong, like pimp hand. Kyle Larson probably has a pretty dangerous pimp hand. So I would be on the lookout for that one as well. And, of course, who would be his backup? Would have to be Mr. H. That is a unit of a man. Be afraid, be very afraid. And then going to our last matchup, Corey LaJoy versus Ryan Preece. Taking a look at Corey LaJoy. The guy just looks scrappy. He's got that scrappy face. He looks like he could probably, just be ready to have some quick agility punch, maybe put you in a triangle choke. He's kind of got that vibe to him. I could see it. The entire NASCAR production team would be his backup. There's a pretty wide-ranging cast of characters in that squad. So he would be rolling pretty deep. So you could, be pretty afraid of that, I guess, maybe. If you're just looking at it in simple terms of numbers. Most of these guys carry microphones and cameras, maybe not can fight that great. Lots of equipment, though, that could be used to strike. When you look at Ryan Preece, though, there's really just some undeniable qualities. You've already seen the video of how he approached. Dude's got that rage in him, and he also listens to a ton of 90s gangster rap, such as the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. Anytime you see a dude rolling up listening to that, you know that dude could probably just fake you out real quick or do some really heavy damage to put you in the ER. Also, that short track temper, we saw it displayed. The temper manifests into rage, manifests into punches, and he can probably punch pretty hard. Who would Ryan Preece's backup guy be? It'd be Tony Stewart. That's another pretty lethal option. So you can stack up Corey LaJoy, his scrappy looks, the entire NASCAR production team, Ryan Preece, Tony Stewart, and the gangster rap, the short track temper. It's a pretty tough call right there. I don't really know who I'd pick. But out of these three matchups that could potentially, maybe one day, be rough and rowdy matchups like Large suggested, or just imaginary fights for us to pretend and think about, either way it goes, I want to know who you think would win in those fights. So hit me in the comments and let me know. I thought that would be pretty fun just to kind of exercise and run through that. Something new, something different. However it may shake out, it was fun for me to try to size them up. Moving on from NASCAR, though, we go to Formula 1, where Max Verstappen got his 7th win. Yay, good for you. But that wasn't even what was funny. Once again, things outside of the race make the Garage Guys report when it comes to Formula 1. And this one was great. Shout out to Orlando. Being up on the podium, he's got his body. Just watch it. Just watch what happens here. It's great. Homeboy straight up said, "Fuck your trophy, dog." Took that bottle, popped it. It's like you knew that trophy was going to fall, okay? You knew it was coming down. Max probably didn't give a shit. He's got too many trophies that he can handle. But who knows? He might have been an ass about it. He may have wanted it back. I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious that just actually happened on a stage while they were celebrating. It's just the ultimate fuck you. But before we get into voicemails, I do want to say that SRX, we had a hell of a time. Okay, hell of a time on playback.tv/GarageGuys, where Ryan Newman got the win at the second race of the season at Stafford. This week, the series moves to Motor Mile Speedway, and I will be once again live on playback.tv/GarageGuys for Thursday Night Thunder. I may or may not have microdosed mushrooms on that one, and I may or may not microdose mushrooms again on Thursday night. So show up to Thursday Night Thunder on playback.tv/GarageGuys. Find out for yourself. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. But that's about all the news and stories that I've got for us this weekend. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. If there's any other race series you want me to talk about, it's as simple as putting it in the comments or going to the Garage Guys Discord, which is free, and checking out the Reports channel. Each week you can drop your links. I'll check out the stories, and I'll happily talk about them here on this show. But now, for my favorite part of the show, we're going to dig in to Garage Guys Report race fan voicemails on the Garage Guys Report hotline. All right, we have a packed voicemail segment this week from all you wonderful race fans that are out there that called from all across America. If this is your first time watching this program, remember the number to call each week after all of the races have been ran. 919-769-4477. You leave your voicemail. Let me know your thoughts on the past weekend in motorsports, and your voicemail will show up right here on the Garage Guys Report each week. We do have some returning callers. We have two guys that are in the running right now for Caller of the Month for July, which is coming to a close. So soon we will name the Caller of the Month. But for now, let's go ahead and dig in and see what everyone had to say about everything that went down over the weekend. We're going to go ahead and start off our calls with Daniel from Fort Hamilton.
All right, this is Daniel Byerly from Fort Hamilton, Kentucky, 101st Air Assault. Denny Hamlin is a hack. He rode Kyle Larson up, and you know what? Kyle Larson is a class act, but no one likes Denny Hamlin. He shouldn't have got the W. Larson was there. Denny Hamlin is a hack. I would have rather have seen Truex win the race. I'm curious on your thoughts, Garage Guy, pending your questions or concerns. Good morning.
Shout out to you for calling from Fort Hamilton, Daniel. Salute to you, my man. I don't really know if I wanted to see Martin Truex Jr. win the race, but I had money on Kyle Larson, so that kind of sucked. But pretty confident that I gave my thoughts earlier on this show. Hopefully you watched. Hopefully you agreed. Maybe you didn't. But sounds like you. I don't really know. Don't really know. But, Daniel, I do appreciate you calling. Keep calling. Thanks so much. Let's move on now to Tanner from Florida.
This is Tanner calling from Florida to let you know Mr. He had already made it clear that he wasn't happy about Chastain wrecking all his cars. Hamlin probably could have got away with taking the air off of Bowman today, but with him running Larson up into the fence, I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Hendrick's going to put a bounty on that man's head. So I hope Denny enjoys this weekend.
Thanks for the call, Tanner. You cut out a little bit there, but that's okay. We appreciate you. Yeah, a bounty from Mr. H. Not the bounty you want to be caught up in. Who knows? Who knows if they are putting bounties out? Could be like a 2010 Saints situation. I'm not going to go there. We're going to move now to Danny from Houston.
My name is Danny Ned. I'm from Houston, Texas. Denny would be perfect driving here, actually, because everyone is so aggressive and people just don't give a shit. So, Denny, move to Texas. If you drive how you do, like what you did today, you fit right in here in Texas.
Thanks for the call, Danny. And passing along the tip to Denny Hamlin, move to Texas because Danny told you to. Appreciate you calling, Danny. Keep calling in. Let's move on to Eddie from New Jersey.
I'm calling from New Jersey. My name is Eddie Trinidad. And all I had to say that this race was honestly ridiculous. Denny Hamlin should have done that on Larson, in which case Larson should repay him the favor if Denny Hamlin gets in the championship, or him and Bowman should just honestly annihilate Denny Hamlin at Martinsville. But including this race, it was great. There were some ups and down moments. But other than that, it's good as hell. I'm drunk as hell. Denny Hamlin's your winner. Or I prefer him calling him a hamster because he's small. And I hope he gets penalized. But in all of that, congratulations, Denny Hamlin. He's great. Bye-bye.
A hamster. Denny Hamster. Thanks for calling, Eddie from New Jersey. I can confirm, though, that Denny's about my height. I've been around him a couple of times, so not the smallest guy. But it's your nickname choice. You do you. Thanks for calling. Let's go on now to one of our regular callers in the running for Caller of the Month for July on the Garage Guys Report. You know him as Hunter from Arkansas, or as he has been calling himself lately, Casey Racem.
Hello, this is Hunter from Arkansas, a.k.a. Casey Racem. I'd like to give my big shout-out to Joseph Newgarden because my sportsbook Bentley had him at plus 275. I put $10 on him, got me a good $37.50 in return for the first race. And then Bentley decided to shut down, so I couldn't put money on him for the second race or put money on Denny Hamlin today. So I was only able to get a good $38 when I could have won at least 100. My parlay would have looked nice, but it didn't. Joseph Newgarden's the king of corn, and Denny Hamlin is the king of triangles. This has been Casey Racem, and I heard I was in a little competition with Brady from the SIP for Caller of the Month. I'd just like to say, may the best caller win. Also forgot to mention that this last week, my guy Ross Chastain got that Busch sponsorship, and that means that Busch is going to be in my fridge starting in 2024. I'm Casey Racem. I will see you next time.
The presentation, always immaculate. The pauses, it's almost like he took notes for this, and we appreciate it. Thanks for all that information, Hunter. Thank you for calling. And, yes, stock that fridge up with Busch because your boy Ross, he got that done. There will be a watermelon Busch-flavored beer at some point. I really believe that, firmly believe it, and I know that Hunter from Arkansas will drink the piss out of it. So thanks for calling, Hunter. Another great voicemail. Let's go now to John from Houston. A lot of Texas callers on this episode. I like this. Let's go. Here's John.
Hey, Chase, this is John calling in from Houston, Texas. Controversial race this past weekend. We all know that. I would just like to know the controversy over the racing antics that Denny Hamlin has and compare those to the great Dale Sr. and other racers that definitely had I guess you could say, dirty way of racing, and see what makes him such a dislikable guy as opposed to those who are praised and how that translates in today's current NASCAR. I appreciate the feedback. I asked a lot of my friends the same thing, and they can never really give me a great response other than things were different back then. So if you can give your insight, I'd be very happy to know and greatly appreciate your response. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for calling, John. I think that's a great voicemail. It's a great question, actually. What John was asking is, how does Denny compare to Dale Earnhardt and other drivers that were as aggressive back then? And I think that that's such a fair thing that you said there, like, because it seems like everybody just says, oh, everything was different back then. Not really. I mean, you heard Denny himself talk about, he's doing what he's got to do for the win. And I guess to answer your question, the way I would say it is just he lays it all out on the line when he is in position to get a dub. Dale Earnhardt was sometimes in that position, sometimes not. I guess the difference would be is that you don't really see as much of it. I personally feel like I haven't seen as much of that out of Denny when he's not like in that top three towards the end of a race. Dale Earnhardt, kind of maybe the same. It's just, I don't really think there's anything. I think it's just personalities. I think that's the best way I can answer this is people of today's time tend to have this warped sense that everyone is supposed to be super by the book and this and that. And it's like a part of racing is you have to be aggressive. You have to want to be better than everybody else. You have to want to win. And I know that there are lines that shouldn't be crossed, but sometimes they do get crossed in the sake of being competitive and trying to make things work. So, I mean, if you want to throw that comparison in, I mean, whether you want to say that the crowd booed the caution or the crowd booed Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt got booed all the time. I mean, it's just when you win and you're a big popular person and maybe you have some things that you've said in the past that people hang on to, they're just going to hold you to that. Maybe that's not the best way to answer this thing, but I guess the simple form answer is people be fucking soft. And I'm not one of those people. I'm here for the show, dude. And I hope that everybody watching this is here for the show. If you're in a position to win, you're going to do what the fuck you got to do. And sometimes it just be like that. It's the best way I can say it. So, John, I hope that helps. Thanks so much for calling. Keep calling in. Appreciate you. Let's go now to Lloydie from the Discord.
Hey, Chase. It's Lloydie. It's been a fun 10 days between Loudon and Pocono. Got to finally meet Smoke, which is fucking awesome. Such a great fucking time. But, oh boy, we lost some money this week. 2 weeks, actually. I can't believe they didn't with that freaking caution. Not that I'm bitter or anything like that, because my outrights were eighth on back. But, you know what? We have a good time. We keep surviving, stuff like that. Ty Gibbs. Oh, thank you for that top 10. Holy fuck, that was awesome. But I'm probably going to keep drinking and stuff like that, have a good time. Can't wait to see you again, and let's fucking keep going, bud. All right, be safe. Fuck you, Denny Hamlin.
Way to sneak that one in there at the end, Lloydie. Thanks so much for calling, man. Glad you enjoyed your 2-race weekends. It's always good to hear. Good to hear from Lloydie. Garage Fam, longtime member in the Discord. Another Discord caller, Matt Dumpster. Here we go.
Garage Guy Chase, Matt Dumpster from the Discord, calling in here from beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, celebrating a massive, massive win for the Mavis Tires, number 11, Toyota Camry TRD. I mean, hell of a race overall. Those last 15 laps were just incredible. But, hey, we got both Kyles real mad today. We got Kyle Larson upset at my boy, and then Kyle Petty just won't let it ever go. So, you know, I just got one thing to say to that. I'm going to give it over to my dog, Famous Dex, who's going to explain how they're really feeling and everyone else upset about this race. And that's all I got to say. Denny Hamlin, back on top, big W, the master of the triangle. I'm gassed up. Championship year. It's going to happen. This is the year. We'll see you.
Thank you for calling in, Matt. A Denny Hamlin fan. Matt Dumpster from the Discord. He is a Denny Hamlin fan, so it is good to hear from a Denny Hamlin fan that is happy. He's just gassed up. He's feeling good. And like I've said before, I've said it on a previous show, I've said it on the Garage Guys NASCAR podcast, I have definitely changed my sights for this championship before. A couple weeks back, I decided it did feel like Denny time. I don't know if it's a collection of the podcast, him kind of being back in this big media cycle, especially today, that keeps him rolling. Like, people are talking about him, and I feel like Denny thrives when he's in everybody's mind and coming out of everybody's mouth. So, could be a good sign of things to come for all the Hamlin fans out there. 3 in a row for Discord callers. We're going to go to Spurs Ted Lasso calling from the Discord. Let's see what Spurs Ted Lasso had to say.
Chase, this is Spurs Ted Lasso calling from the sad TriStar today. No longer the glorious, just the sad. I don't even know where to begin with whatever the fuck NASCAR calls that ending. They'll throw a goddamn caution flag if fucking Dillon farts too hard, but they won't throw a fucking caution with one. It was 2 laps to go still. We could have had another green-white checkered, but they're just going to let Ryan Preece sit on the track like a jackass with his fucking cock in his hand. I am over it, man. Every fucking week it's something different with race control. We tell them about it. They don't give a fuck. They've got to have fucking idiots up there in the press box. It is absolutely fucking absurd, the differences in fucking race control week in and week out. I don't understand. You could put a monkey fucking a football in the goddamn glass box up there and he'd make better fucking caution calls than NASCAR does. OD Steve, or whatever the fuck his name is, Steve O'Donnell, fuck you, buddy. You're an idiot. Other than that, 2 of the biggest clown show interviews by drivers I've ever seen. Number 1, Austin Dillon. Bro, you throw like a 95-year-old woman at a damn MLB game trying to throw out the first pitch for being there when Betsy Ross sewn the fucking first American flag or some shit. I don't know. But that helmet landed 20 yards short of fucking Reddick's truck or car. Not even close. Then you got Denny Hamlin talking about, oh, both guys wrecked themselves. Buddy, are you fucking kidding me? You want to look back at last year? Oh, I can't wait to hear what that fucking pompous jackass says on his little podcast this week. I tell you what, it's going to be nothing but nonsense. Nothing but fucking nonsense. No, I mean, seriously, Kyle Larson's going to freaking kick him out of their friendly little, I don't know what it is, a little golf group text they have? I don't know, but it's fucking done. No more golf courses are included with Denny Hamlin. No more. No more. Stenhouse, fucking, Larson, and I think there's another big golf guy. They're playing alone. No more Denny Hamlin golf. No more Denny Hamlin on my screen. The only thing that would have made this day better is somebody would have hit him in the damn face with one of those glass bottles from the stands. You know, Pocono, your fans, love y'all, but maybe you should hit the weight room with Austin Dillon. All I got to say. Signing out.
A mouthful from Spurs Ted Lasso. I can't even fucking say it right. Spurs Ted Lasso. A mouthful. Wow. Powerful stuff coming from the sad TriStar right there. And, you know, Matt and Spurs, you know, I've ran into those guys a lot together, so I would love to get them to sit down and have an argument about that. One is a Denny Hamlin fan, one is not a Denny Hamlin fan. Would be fun. Thank you for calling Spurs Ted Lasso. Always love it when you call. Always passionate voicemails. We're going to go now to our second caller of the month running for caller of the month in July. Brady from Mississippi is here, and here are his thoughts. Sorry, this is in my mouth is causing me to have a little lisp. Hope it's not affecting you. But let's go ahead and hear what Brady had to say. Competing for caller of the month for July. Brady from Mississippi.
What's up, Chase? This is Brady. Take 2 on the call here. Voicemail got interrupted. But I'm sitting here, southern Mississippi, beautiful weather, 3-chi in hand. And it's a good day. 50 wins for DH, 7 times at the Triangle. I know a lot of people will be calling and have some nasty things to say about him. So that's just racing. Look, he's a veteran. Kyle Larson knows how he races. Did the same thing last year to Ross. When you get one lane of room, okay, you can either get in the wall or you can try and go for the win another time. By the way, Kyle Larson does the same shit all the time and never catches anything for it. But man, I love Pocono. To me, it's the most iconic NASCAR track. And I don't even mind if it comes here once a year. It just makes it more special. Any track needs to be added to a crown jewel list. It's this one. Yeah, just make it 500 miles, call it a day. Also, I got a question for you. Is Carla done for? It lets their future talent get poached by what's essentially Brad K's feeder team. Big plays by him. Allmendinger he's on the way out, and he's overhyped, honestly. I can't think of any other driver that they can get and actually be competitive with. So I don't know. Question for you there. Also, Austin Dillon is a crybaby. Better start learning Chinese, buddy.
Just had to stiff Austin Dillon right there at the end, Brady. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. And, guys, again, that is one of our competing callers of the month, him and Hunter from Arkansas thus far. Your question, that was some news. Everybody's pretty much already talked about it. It's already been dumped out, which is why I didn't talk about it on the news segment of the show. But, yes, if you didn't know, Justin Haley is going to Rick Ware Racing. A lot of people had some choice things to say about it. I think it's a good move. And right now in his career, I think it's an even better move for Justin because of the RFK step in and getting that help with Ford. So the super speedways are going to have someone new to look out for. As far as Kaulig being done, you know, Brady, I'm not ready to say that they will be. They've got some talent in the roster. I think right now the most likely candidate to replace Justin is going to be Daniel Hemrick, which is not my favorite choice, but it's what they have. You know, you've got Chandler Smith that's also there in the Xfinity Series with Kaulig, so they have a little bit of talent. And then who knows, they might reach on the outsides. But when it comes to Matt Kaulig and Chris Rice, man, it's just really hard to say that those guys are done for. They're some of the hardest working grinders in the sport. I have had the privilege to hang out with them, talk with them. Every time I go to a race, we always see each other, find each other, point each other out. Some of the funnest guys and competitive guys out here. And they've showed that with what they've been able to build with Kaulig thus far. So I don't think it's the end for them by any means. I think that it's just a moment in time, and they're going to have to step and assess, and they're going to move forward just like other up-and-coming teams have in the past. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that answers your question. Again, thanks so much for calling in week and week out, Brady. We appreciate you. Let's go ahead and move on now to Reporter Verde.
This is Reporter Verde from my pool in Phoenix, Arizona. And let's just see what happened. It was a load of shit. If you have a podcast, you have 0 championships, i.e., Denny Hamlin, Corey LaJoy, and Jr. And if we looked at, a little drunk in the pool. And the coldest pitcher of all time, though, was Cliff Daniels and the Hendrick team looking out at Hamlin doing burnouts there. You know it's going to be Larson that's going to be winning the championship this year. So Hamlin, you ain't going to do shit, but whatever. A little tipsy, a little drunk, have a good time, but Hamlin's a little bitch. I didn't do a good job. That was
Reporter Verde calling in drunk from his pool in Phoenix, Arizona. I wouldn't expect anything less from our good pal Reporter Verde on Twitter. He helps us report at these races a good bit. If you don't know who he is, check him out on Twitter. Fun guy, always on the move, always looking for something to report. That was a cool report, Reporter Verde, you snuck in there. I had no idea there was a photo of Cliff Daniels staring out at Hamlin doing burnouts. I'm going to have to look that up. But, yeah, appreciate you calling in, man. Keep calling each week. We love to hear from Reporter Verde. I want more drunk phone calls from the pool. It's fun to listen to them as a man who has been sober for 3 years. I love it. All right, let's go on now to another one of our Discord guys, also known for being in the DFS spaces on Twitter on Sundays when I do them. He goes by the name of Upstate Simpson.
Chase, Upstate Simpson, a.k.a. Laker of Wally. How did you get a Raleigh area code for this number? Question 1. Question 2 is how did they not throw the caution before the white flag at Pocono? They throw yellow flags every time they see tire smoke. It didn't happen at the end. Doesn't help that I had Truex over Hamlin at even money. I'm just not happy. I'm not happy about that. What I am happy about is the turnout, the attendance at Pocono. Got family from PA. I know how much they love stock car racing up there, and they showed out. Absolutely love the crowd. It was beautiful. Beautiful day, no rain. The Yinzers and the Philly folk were all out. Maybe some New York folks, but and all around. But not happy about the caution or the lack thereof a caution flag. Denny knows how to get around the triangle, but just wish they would call it more fair. It's going to cost me a lot of money, but don't if they see tire smoke, you got to throw it. That's what they've done all race long. That's so I'll leave it there. Answer the Raleigh area code number question, and also why didn't they throw a caution? Love you. Bye.
Love you too, Upstate Simpson. Thanks so much for calling in, man. The Raleigh area code. Google Voice at it. That's all there is to that one. As far as the caution, I mean, it is weird, right? I mean, it was discussed a little bit. It was strange. You would have expected him to call that race control. It was some weird shit, man. I don't have the answers. I wish I did, but I hate it for all the people that didn't bet on Denny, but also there were a lot of people that did. So you win some, you lose some. I don't know. I wish I had more answers for you, but it was definitely strange, and it definitely didn't show consistency with how they have called cautions in the past. So it's probably not the answer you want, but if you want my real opinion, pretty fucking shitty. I'll just say that. Doesn't make much sense. I'm still kind of confused about it. Thank you for calling, Upstate Simpson. Keep calling. Appreciate you. Let's go now to Matt from Pennsylvania.
What up, garage guy reporter? Chase, this is Matt from Pennsylvania. Holy fuck, what a race. I'm a little pissed because I live I'm on like glass 7, which is fitting for Mr. Hamlin for what he did at this fucking track. But yeah, I'm about an hour away from Pocono. I should have been there, but good race. Not gonna lie, I'm a little fucking salty about what happened to Phil Larson and my boy Alex Bowman, but what you gonna do in big time automobile racing? And there's a new classification of what people were thinking about the world. We got the flat earthers, the regular people, and Hamlin might as well think the world a triangle because he is the triangle master. But anyway, before I start rambling on here, because I probably shouldn't be leaving a voicemail right now, but keep up the good work. I love watching the report on my freaking phone while I'm at work during the weekday, and just keep up the good shit. Alrighty, garage fam, I'm out. Matt from Pennsylvania.
Thanks for calling in, Matt from Pennsylvania. That was a good voicemail. You caught my attention when you started talking about flat earthers, but you pivoted to the triangle thing with Denny. So I appreciate that call, man. Yeah, definitely get out to a race next time out there. Glass 7, baby. It's like your game 7. You did good. Thanks for calling. We're going to move now to Jason from Southern California.
My name is Jason. I'm calling from Southern California, and I think that Denny Hamlin is a hack. Man just does not care where anyone else is on the track. He comes up, he walls Larson, blames it on Larson. Race entirely was a shit show in my humble opinion. Ty Dillon does not deserve a Cup Series ride. Reckon Chase Briscoe like that. And as a very sad Stewart Haas fan, I'm still waiting for Harvick's win this year.
Thanks for calling, Jason from Southern California. Now I know why you thought the race was a shit show. It's because Harvick didn't win. It was a good race, man. Let's be honest. It's a good race, Jason. Just maybe didn't have the outcome you wanted. Also, it just happened, and maybe someone else on these voicemails called Denny a hack, but I don't think we can call Denny a hack because it's like Denny kind of made that word for Alex Bowman. You know, so it's like maybe we go with what Eddie said. Maybe call him a hamster if you don't like him. Denny Hamster. Sounds cool. It's kind of, emasculating a little bit maybe. I don't know. Maybe not hack. It's kind of like taking Denny's words and using them against him in a way, and it's just not as cool as it could be. But the race wasn't a shit show until that caution. All right. Thanks so much for calling, Jason. Appreciate you. Keep calling. Let's go now to Zach from Alabama.
Hey, Garage Guys. Zachary Cook, Russellville, Alabama, and I'm calling in because of the race went under caution, and I'm fuming with Denny Hamlin. I understand NASCAR got their hands tied, but they are ridiculous on how they situate their races these days. I understand the race went under caution on the last lap. I understand that 100%. But some fans are keeping it too harsh, and I mean, the fan base is biased to Garage Guys, so there's a ton of biased opinions out there, and I want to put my biased opinion out there, and hopefully this will, go in Denny Hamlin's trophy case as a trophy. And I like to say one more thing about Denny Hamlin. Dear Denny, he always wrecked people on purpose. Dear Denny, he wrecked the 48 on today. Dear Denny, anyone can. I'm thinking my thing's bad, so I just end it there. But it's ridiculous how people are these days. But anyway, I'm almost 22 minutes. So see you guys on the podcast.
Thanks for calling, Zach from Alabama. Good attempt at karaoke on the report hotline. Keep calling. All right, now we move to a guy that wasn't previously in the running for Caller of the Month. He has had a little bit of spaces, but if he can tighten up and he has another voicemail next week, I will officially drop him into being in the running for Caller of the Month of July. This man's voicemails do not disappoint. They have been fun, they've been sad, they've been happy, but they've been real. And I give the man his time because of that. This is Bill from Belleville, now being entered for Caller of the Month in July on the Garage Guys Report.
Hey, man, it's Bill from Belleville. I'm up in the Poconos this weekend at the cabin with the wife and kids. Currently, I am sitting outside of a Dollar General down the road. I loaded up on ramen, to say the least. I made a poor decision. I promised surf and turf to the family. I got ahead of myself when I thought that Larson would perhaps get it done well. Surf and turf. I think I might mix the beef and shrimp flavors in one pot, right? A little land, a little sea coming together in a microwavable harmony. Hey, man, absolute heartbreak for Larson, and I'm sure by now everyone said their part on Denny and on the race control. So I won't even get into it. I ain't doing it, goddamn, my sodium levels are high enough. No, it's all good news here. Listen, I came here, I just wanted to make an announcement right here on the report. Ever since my last call 2 weeks ago, and my call getting aired, Bill's getting some phone calls. Yes, he has. And I'm proud to announce that I have signed a one-race sponsorship deal and will race for Great Value Brand Coleslaw this Friday night at Bellevue Speedway.
That's right. I will be driving the 00 Great Value brand Coleslaw Chevy Cavalier in the legendary Hambone 400. That's right. Man, I tell you what, none of this would be possible without the Garage Report. Just want to thank y'all so much for the support through these trying times when I had coleslaw in my lap, my jeans. Man, they're still in damn wash. You can't get coleslaw out. You just can't. Thank y'all for the support. There's still some 2-week-old coleslaw stuck in between the couch cushions now. I use that as motivation and a reminder of where I came from. It's Bill from Belleville. I'm sponsored by Coleslaw. I'm out.
Round of applause. Bill from Belleville. The man called into the Garage Guys Report, and now he's getting sponsorships from Great Value brand Coleslaw, racing in the Hambone 400 in Belleville. We're making dreams come true on the Garage Guys Report. Hell of a wow. Wow. I want to watch that race. We're all rooting for you, Bill. Go win that motherfucker. Thank you for calling. Not only are you now racing in a Hambone 400 with a sponsorship, but you're also in the running for Caller of the Month for the month of July. Incredible. So now we have 3 Garage Guys Report race fan voicemail callers in the running. Amazing. Amazing. Bill from Belleville. Thank you for calling, brother. All right, we got 3 more left. Let's go to Dale from Michigan.
Hey, Chase. What's going on? This is Dale from Michigan. I just wanted to say that I feel really bamboozled about this Pocono race because Denny Hamlin has shown that he's the true villain. You know, all the time the last year, you know, we've been told that Ross Chastain is the guy that, you know, we need to blame for everything. And before that was Kyle Busch. But I think Dennis showed his true colors today, and saying there was no contact. There was obviously contact in the corner. So it's too bad. You know, I like Kyle Larson, and bummer he had to finish like 21st or whatever. But I think he'll get his frustrations out on the sprint track on Tuesday, and hopefully Richmond next weekend. That's all I have to say. Shout out to Jesse Love and the ARCA for winning the 6th time in a row or whatever. 6th time this year. I don't know. But that's all. Have a good one.
Thanks for calling, Dale from Michigan. I definitely understand the frustration there as a Kyle Larson bettor. My one-shot wonder bet today. I think by now, where we are in this show, I think we can all say we know that Denny had a little contact there. And your comments on the true villain. Hey, somebody's got to fit the bill. He eats it up. He's obviously eating it up. I saw a lot of people saying he's the new Kyle Busch, where Kyle Busch was. Also, a little ARCA love on the show with Jesse Love. Is he as good as Max Verstappen? He has 6 wins in a row. Apparently, according to you, I don't really keep up with ARCA. I should probably do that more. But fortunately, I have you, Dale, from Michigan. Keep me posted on ARCA. And thank you for calling. Appreciate you. We're going to go now to John Connor from California.
I'm John calling in from California, and I think everybody's going to talk about the Larson-Hamlin wreck, but the one thing I want to talk about that should be talked about is the call at the end of the race. Everyone is saying that the Pocono flag stand dropped the yellow flag and pulled it back because there was no call on it. I don't know who's calling these races, but if we look back just a year ago to the 2022 All-Star race and the call that was made there on the last lap to bring up the yellow flag so there would be an overtime finish to what happened now where a car slides down the racetrack and can't get refired, where there's no caution, I can't believe it. I thought it was a terrible call, and I'd love to see an overtime there. And I'm not an overtime fan, but I would have loved to see an overtime finish in this race.
Appreciate your thoughts, John from California. Thank you so much for calling in on the show. We've definitely discussed it, dove into that. Just not consistent. Didn't really make much sense as to what we have seen from NASCAR. So, I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds. Last caller of the week before we end the show. Let's go to Kyle from New Jersey. 2 Texas callers, 2 New Jersey callers this week. I like that. Let's see what Kyle had to say.
What's up, Garage Guys? Kyle from New Jersey here. Just getting out of Pocono, heading back home. Leaving my thoughts on the weekend here. Seems like NASCAR is changing week to week and bending the rules. I understand maybe not throwing a caution when a single car spins, but it was early enough. He wasn't even at the beginning of turn 3. We should have had a green-white checker. There was enough drama leading up to it. They had no problem throwing the yellow flag the rest of the time of the race. Just seems like 3 weeks in a row, whether it be Xfinity, Truck Series, or NASCAR, that they're willing to bend the rules, and they're not consistent. As a diehard fan, it's tough to see, even when your guy's not at the front of the field. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling, Kyle. Thank you for letting us know your opinions and your thoughts on this race. That's going to do it for me here at the International Chase Station. It's been another great show. We covered a lot of stuff, and it's a great time to be a fan in motorsports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me at Garage Guy Chase on all social media channels so that you can keep up week to week, day to day with all of the things that are going on inside Garage Guys, with me, with NASCAR, IndyCar, F1, all that stuff. All right, I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much to the fans that called in to the Garage Guys hotline on this episode. And, who knows what we have in store for the 10th episode next week, but I know that we are going to Richmond, so a lot of great racing coming up next weekend, and I can't wait to see what we have for you then. This has been the Garage Guys Report. Motorsports news for you. Subscribe.